horrific human rights abuses we'll talk about today, and thank them all for their hard work. I've been up here in the Senate now for 3 years, and I've learned that in this building, too many people have a hard time stating simple facts and forcing accountability. It is a fact that the Communist Chinese Party is committing horrific human rights abuses against Tibetans, Hong Kongers, and Uyghur Muslims. It is a fact that at the direction of General Secretary Xi, the Communist Chinese Party is committing genocide and desecrating the Uyghur homeland. It is a fact that Beijing continues to systematically destroy democracy in Hong Kong. I saw it with my own eyes when I visited there in 2019. Next week, the 2022 Olympics will begin in Beijing, and the world will watch as Communist China, it's Communist China, let's never forget that, whitewashes these crimes and churns its propaganda machine to make the world forget just how evil this empire is. I can't tell you how worried I am about the athletes competing in Beijing. Look at what Communist China did to silence and disappear Peng Shuai. It's terrifying. I've called on the IOC and the Biden administration to take every step necessary to keep Americans safe. But unfortunately, I haven't heard a word from them on what they're doing about it. We cannot let anyone forget about what is happening in Communist China. NBC must use the Olympics to highlight these atrocities. Sadly, I doubt they will. That's why we're here today, to make sure no one forgets. For years, I've been calling for the Olympics not for a boycott, but be moved out of Communist China. For years, I've been highlighting Communist China's brutal abuses and demanding accountability for Communist China's genocide and attacks on democracy. For years, I've been demanding businesses to stop doing business with Communist China. Look, all we know, when you do business with Communist China, it enriches the Chinese ruling class, the Communist Chinese ruling class, and funds its oppression. We must be clear in the United States and America that Communist China's abuses will not be tolerated. We must call out these crimes, and we must stand by the brave advocates. I mean, you have to be a brave advocate to stand up to Communist China. And you look at what they do to their families for freedom and democracy in China, Hong Kong, Tibet, and all around the world. We must show that the United States is an unyielding and unapologetic advocate for human rights and unafraid of speaking the truth and upsetting General Secretary Xi and his Communist Party thugs. That's why we're here today, to call out these abuses and give a voice to those who Communist China is working to oppress. The people with me here today have lived it. I want you to hear straight from each of them. With that, first I'd like to introduce Joey Su, Policy Advisor for Hong Kong Watch.
Thank you, Senator. Good afternoon, everyone.